Okay, we're connecting. It says we're live. Just make sure here. Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. Took us a couple minutes to sign on, but here we are.
Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone. We're just going to go ahead and post some links here for us. So let's get this done. Gotta post my stuff. Okay, we'll be going live here, everyone, in about 6 minutes, hopefully.
If all goes well.
Get our stuff, get her done. Let us know who's watching. Let us know who you are.
I'm sharing everything right now.
That's what I'm doing too. I got a couple pages I got to share too. Hello, Joey Poor. Hello, Joey Poor Thunder. Hello. We got 6 people watching so far. Let us know where you're from and who you are.
Okay.
Here. Getting our links done.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yep. All right, everybody. We've got a fun show tonight. Burl Tooshkenig from Sweetgrass and Cinema is our guest tonight. This is probably seriously one of the funnest weeks I have had getting ready for a show. We are in for a treat between Christy and Burl. It is going to be cool. Getting some typing done here. All right, hold on. Here we go. Hello, I'm here. Yes, for you from Tuba City, Arizona. All right, Joey. And we have Svea Kamori watching.
Hi, Joey. Hi, Svea. Okay, I think I shared everything. I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, I've got one link posted. Let me get another one done right quick.
12 people. Hi, 12 people.
Hi, everybody. We got Sweetgrass and Cinnamon Indigenous Art watching. Hey, all. Hello, LaDonna Williams. You need to order stuff or do that. Go ahead, for Donna, go ahead and message Dancing Bear Indian Trader directly. That is the best way to do it. This is a different focus that we're doing business. You know, this is for the show tonight. Okay. What you can do is go to their website or go to their Facebook page and message them or call them when they're open tomorrow.
I tagged Svea too.
I see that.
Yeah.
I got to share over here. Don't you love it when Facebook changes their layout all of a sudden?
I know.
Arga. Okay, let me get one more share here done here. Type.
I know.
And
13
shared.
people.
Okay, we're good. We got a couple more minutes till opening here. Let's see who else is watching. Okay, LaDonna, hope we were able to help with that. And we have Dancing Bear Indian Trader that just signed on, says, hey, everybody, this is going to be a great show. Well, I don't know if we should we believe that, Christy?
I don't know. I don't
know either. I don't know. I'm scratching my head. We've been preparing with our Ben Stein impressions so much this week.
21 people. Hi, 21 people. Tell us where you're from. Where you're watching from.
I see where Svea's there. Svea, tell us where you're from. We haven't heard from you yet.
She's from her couch.
I'm wondering, do we have Vivian here yet? Vivian is one of our strongest supporters.
I know.
Watches every week. Come on, Vivian. Where you at?
She wasn't here last week either. Miss her.
No. I'm going to cheat. I'm not on camera yet, so I'm going to eat some more Cracker Jacks.
Did you get the prize?
I can't do it on camera because Quarantinos will not let us.
Oh, that's right. Did you get a prize?
All right, Kathy Ornelia is watching. Hello, Kathy. All right, we're at 2 minutes till we go live, everybody. 2 minutes. It is 9:58. We're going to have a little bit of international tonight. We're going to have some nature lessons tonight.
Oh, my, you guys are going to crack up.
I hope not. That might require medical attention.
It's going to be hilarious.
I want it to be. I want to be serious. I want everybody to feel like they're watching 6 hours of C-SPAN on a Saturday night.
That's what they want to watch on a Saturday night.
Okay, Kathy here. She's clapping her hands. Palma Valley for LaDonna. Awesome. I've done a couple powwows there. All right. Okay. Let everybody else let us know who you are.
Yeah, everybody say hi.
We're trying to see. We're curious if we have any viewers from Germany tonight.
Oh my God.
Y'all know throughout the show.
You'll get it when we start.
You'll get it. Okay. It is 10 o'clock. All right. Let me do a little quick restart here on the program because sometimes I got to do this right before we start the countdown because that means the computer might get bogged down. We don't want to do that. We want everybody to have the best viewing experiences possible. So let me do a little quick reset here on the PowerPoint. Let me get it back over here to Sharon. That's sharing, not Sharon. And we're back. Well, Christy, it's 10 o'clock. What do you think?
Oh, let's get started. Ready for the countdown?
I think so. Here we go. Oh, yes. Vivian's watching. Hi, Vivian.
Yay!
All right. Now we can start the show. Vivian's watching.
We were waiting for you, Vivian, this whole time. We're like, where is she?
All right. Everybody, count down with us. Ready, Christy?
Ready.
Everybody count down with us. 10,
10,
9, 8,
7,
6, 5,
5,
4,
4,
3, 2, 1, 0. Showtime. Willkommen zu Late Night Craft Talk mit Host James Hermes und Christy Nieto. Special Guest Burl Tooshkenig. Wenn du verstehen kannst, dass ich Deutsche spreche, dann versteht du diese Sprache wirklich. Es ist Zeit, die Show zu starten. Willkommen zum Late Night Craft Talk.
Hot Abend interviewen were Burl Tooshkenig, Ihnen ich Hashiten, Künstler der First Nations an der Askustische Kanadas.
Vorlises macht strategisch das Ständer auf Bekannten, macht der Strudel und Sauerkraut nicht.
Hello, but I don't understand German language.
Dutch zu spreken is klein, verskuschen, in this jaar show zusien. We kunnen sie welkomen verstehen.
I don't understand anything you are saying. Is there anybody here who can speak English?
Wir können Sie willkommen verstehen. Der Unterstadter und Verbotages die Morgenwächter keine Englisch verstehen, aber Englisch lässt können.
I don't understand German. And why are there still English subtitles whenever I speak English?
Ich verstehe nicht, warum sie so verwirrt sind. Das wir versuchen, unserem Publikum zu helfen, das kein Englisch kann.
I don't understand what is happening, and why do I have English subtitles when you two are speaking German?
Vielen Dank, Burl. dass der Duste Wosta Leitenat Krafttag tolle Magotten hast. Es wäre gut werden mit ihm zu sprechen.
Sehin si sich, die show, nasich, which in der word, learning, wie man samhurtsit much. Sie in, Sushern, sauerkraut, zu geben.
I don't understand German. And I don't need English titles. I don't need English subtitles when I'm speaking English.
Welcome to Late Night Craft Talk, hosted by Svea Yang and James Hermes. Special guest host, Christy Nieto. This week's special guest, Burl Tooshkenig from Sweetgrass and Cinnamon. Late Night Craft Talk has been voted the #1 rated late night Friday night talk show in the town of Now Here, Oklahoma, population 1. Thank you, Earl, for voting us the #1 talk show. We feel blessed that we're your best and only friends. Now it's time to start the show. Hi,
And
Chrissy.
the Oscar goes to me.
We'll go with it. Your German accent was awesome. Speaking of,
Terrible.
we need to take care of a little business right quick. We here at Late Night Craft Talk would like to apologize to any of our German viewers who may be offended our less than eloquent accents. Mainly somebody on my screen that way, this way, that way. But so to show that we love our German viewers and we are high fans of the German culture in Germany, we'd like to show ourselves our support for Germany by eating some sauerkraut.
Oh my God, this smells horrible.
It's a little vinegary.
Oh, look at
We
that.
love our German viewers.
I need a sausage.
Yeah. I'm just gonna wash it down. I love the taste of just washing it down with some butter here.
Mmm.
You got a lot of sauerkraut to finish through the show.
Yes. I told my husband to go buy sauerkraut, and he came home with this. It's as big as my head.
And I have a little can, and I served a little bit in the bowl. And I took it out. I'm not wasteful. I'm gonna eat this. At least you put the lid back on. Okay. You did eat that right out of the jar, right?
Well, I could just go like,
Would you do it for our audience?
I do it, I guess. But we don't want to see that, right?
I don't know. Let's start looking at those views. Everybody let us know. We got a lot of show you have to do. All right. Let's take care of a little bit of business. The drawing prizes from last week for last week's contest. Remember, the contest last week was to like the show and share it, and like and share Elk Rat Traders, My Lucky Dragon, and Dancing Bear Indian Trader. And we went through and we asked you to write done once you did it on the comments for the show. And we counted everybody. And I've got those people's names right in here. We didn't announce last week's prizes. So what we're going to do is it's actually a mystery bag from Elk Rat Traders and somebody's Lucky Dragon. Oh, she's drinking. Okay. And for My Lucky Dragon.
I'm trying to flush the yummy taste down.
By the way, we have a comment. I can make you some lovely sauerkraut. We might look you up on that. Okay. All right, let's mix this up. Let's make the names up in here. I have it in a Stein-looking cup.
Yes.
Looks like a beer stein, German beer stein, but it's actually where I keep my root beer float, and I have it in there. I love root beer floats. Shaking it up real good. Y'all can hear that, hopefully.
I can
Now-
use a beer float right now.
I'll have one tomorrow night. Okay. Mix it in there. Let's get the names out here. And we have this week's winner is Carol Ann Blackwood.
Woohoo!
All right, Carol Ann. I believe she's won before too. So put that in the side. We know that. Carol Ann, congratulations. And Wiener Schnitzel. Lol. All right, from LaDonna.
Ooh, I could go for a Wiener Schnitzel right now.
We still got one here in India where I live. It's just really hot right now.
But I'm on a diet.
Are you sitting on the diet right now, or are you like? Okay,
Am I-
that joke went nowhere.
Yeah,
All right.
Woo!
So, yeah. All right. Business, get a little business out of the way for Elk Rack Traders this week. Any announcements? Really not much. I've been doing a lot of custom orders. I'm finally I got a rush on them a couple weeks ago, finishing off the last of them tomorrow, so I can get some new stuff up on the website, some new knives. I've been looking forward to that. I got to do some feather work because I sold a couple of feather fans last week, so I'm down to one on the website, and I got to make a bunch of those. So busy week ahead, but I can finally start putting stuff on the website then, which means I'll have cool stuff to show for next week's show. That's what's going on with Elk Rack this week. It's going on with My Lucky Dragon.
It's been a busy week as well, and I have markets all this weekend. I had one early today, and I'm exhausted. But I have another one tomorrow to get ready for, and Sunday. So it's been busy.
It has.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't have any announcements from Dancing Bear Indian Trader. If there is, we'll let you know by the end of the show.
Yeah.
Look at all those plants in your background.
Mm-hmm.
And that just reminds me, when we had one of our meetings earlier with Burl. Burl is very well, I guess herbology is one term for it. He really knows his plants. It's one of the great, neat things about him talking with it. We're learning so much this week. And I was reading an article today on the news about people that are starting to buy plants and stuff like that and starting to start gardens. And, you heard about that?
Oh, yeah. Like a lot of people are starting to grow their own vegetables and fruits and all kinds of stuff. And I went to the Lowe's the other day and everything's gone. You can't find anything. So,
Really?
Yeah. And I too got on the craze. I'm starting to grow my own stuff as well.
You are? I am too, actually.
Yeah.
I live in an area that's, I live on the edge of the area of ag country farms.
Mhm.
Our area down toward Imperial Valley is known as the nation's winter bread basket or fruit basket, vegetable basket, whatever. You get what I mean? We can grow during the winter. We can grow a lot of vegetables, and we supply a lot of country. And so a lot of our farmers are kind of summer forward thinking. They try new stuff. And I was actually, excuse me, I was over nursery a few months ago, right as the quarantine started, and I picked up some, and I want to show you some of the plants I grow. Would you mind me showing you?
Oh, not at all.
Okay.
I want to see and I'll show you what I have because I've been getting into the science and reading books about it and stuff. So.
Well, my thing is that I wanted to show this right here. It actually popped up 10 seconds too early, but those teas you get to say like those fusion drinks like kiwi, strawberry, banana, orange, stuff like that. Well, this is one of those fruits that they make the drinks from. This is called a banapple.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you know what? The tree is really fascinating because it's just kind of incongruous, but really neat. It grows on a banapple palm tree.
Wow. Good job. What kind of soil did you use?
We actually use pumpkin soil.
Oh, wow.
Made of crushed pumpkin seeds and actually clay mud.
Oh, wow. Pretty good.
Yep. You got anything you want to share?
Yeah, well, I like I said, I've been reading books and stuff, and I wanted to start dabbling into the science of crossbreeding, certain things, and so I decided that I was gonna make something for my dogs.
Okay.
And so this is what I came up with, and
Oh,
3
look at that.
milk bones are pretty good. That's pretty good. And usually I can't grow anything at all; it dies on me.
Do you have your? Dogs are primarily carnivores. Do you have a problem with your dog trying to eat the plant too much?
No, they seem to know what to pick. They go out there with their little basket and they start picking at them and putting in their little basket and stuff.
That is natural behavior. I've seen wolves do that with berries.
Yeah,
with berries.
Yeah. Taco's quite interested too, and he learns to grab the sprinkler and the hose, and he tries to help.
Gotcha.
Very helpful.
All right, let's what else we got? Oh, look at that.
And also since there's a shortage on fabric and a lot of sewing and craft supplies, since everybody's stuck at home and wanting to sew masks and all that stuff, I can't find thread anywhere. So I decided to grow my own thread.
Look at it, naturally, organically. I can tell from the potting soil right there, just right there, that looks like naturally, organically grown thread.
Oh yes, it is. Yeah, the best kind.
Oh, look at that. That's amazing.
You know, and I think I'm going to get rich off of this one. I decided to grow masks.
Now,
I
I've
think I
noticed
can make
that.
a killing off of that.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Or because if you don't wear them, it might kill you.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of the leaves on those last 3 plants all look the same. Is that by coincidence or what's up with that?
You know, it's a science. You know, like I said, I try to, I like this one plant since it's easy for me to grow. So I decided to mix, you know, and use that as my base plant and start, you know, science talk, science words, science. And then this is what came up.
Well, you sew, you do you run your own successful business, and you're a science person.
Yes, I know. I have glasses too, so yeah.
You scienced the sciencey out of that.
I sure did.
To paraphrase Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I want to take this opportunity because, you know, Burl, our guest, will be on here in a few minutes. He's actually well known for doing his quill work on birch bark, porcupine quills on birch bark, and he does, you know, he does the baskets made of sweetgrass. But what a lot of people don't know is that there's actually an old native tradition that goes back millennia that deals with that goes, and it's actually a collaborative effort with porcupines. I want to kind of show everybody, just to give a background. These are birch trees. They grow up, you know, mainly northeast area of the continent. You see them in upper Minnesota, Ojibwe country, eastern Canada, and you know they're used for making like canoes, birch bark canoes, baskets, sometimes hats, other utensils.
Also too, I've had experience with it from chopping them up when I have to build my house when I play Minecraft.
No kidding. Wow,
Yeah.
that is virtual. It even grows on it even grows online.
Yeah, it does.
That's
It sure
incredible.
does. Yeah.
Well, you know, right here is that with the birch bark, what a lot of people realize is that there's a strong porcupines love birch bark. Here you see a porcupine munching birch bark, and you have a very old photograph of a porcupine climbing a tree, a birch bark tree, or birch tree, excuse me. Birch bark, it's like saying the. But what the porcupine do is that because their quills are little porcupine feet and little porcupine hands can't reach back there to scratch your back, and you know, there's no supermarket selling a little porcupine bat scratcher. They actually like to get up on the birch tree and rub their backs on the tree to get rid of that itch. And what that does is, depending on the time of year and the sap and maybe some pollen, their quills can turn different colors. And it actually leaves a natural pattern on the birch bark that makes it, sometimes it just makes the most incredible patterns in artwork. And the porcupines have shown a degree of deliberate scratching on there to spread the beauty. It is nature's beauty of birch bark, of quill work on birch bark. And a lot of natives have actually been able to do a collaboration with the porcupine to make artwork with that naturally occurring porcupine quill on birch bark artwork.
Wow.
Would you like to see some?
Wonderful. Yeah, I would love to see
It's
some.
absolutely incredible. Here's one picture.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know, European settlers would actually go back, back in the old days, would bring a lot of that birch bark and quill work from the porcupine back to Europe and put it in their cathedrals and their churches to display. And let's go ahead and take a close-up look at one of those birch bark looks. Look at that. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Wow. It looks
that
like
is incredible.
Svea.
I know the porcupine did a Svea.
Wow.
Svea,
I wonder if she
thing.
even knows.
I don't know, but you know, somebody's got to let her know that. Svea may be watching, so she may see this.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely incredible. That is like the Rembrandt, Michelangelo porcupine right there.
Look at, they got all her smile. They got everything. Wow. Look at the detail.
If they take requests, I'm going to see if that porcupine can do one of her in Disneyland and give it to her for her birthday.
Oh yeah.
That would be
totally
cool. All right. So with that, I think we're kind of going over here. We need to get Burl on the show because a lot of people are watching for this, and I'm waiting for it. So everyone, we want to introduce tonight's guest, who can tell us a lot about everything. Special guest, Burl Tooshkenig from Sweetgrass and Cinnamon. All right, Burl, come on. Let's take a look here. Hey, wait, that's a porcupine. Hey, it's a porcupine. I don't know, maybe Burl went to the bathroom and the porcupine snuck in, but hey, porcupine, did you do that quill work or with Svea? You are the coolest artist. I want to interview instead of Burl. Okay, let's just do this. Burl's off.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you show us how you rub your quill work up on the birch bark and how it happens or anything
Yes.
you've done, show us your latest artwork.
Look, everybody, we're going to actually
Look at it,
see
look at
this in action.
What's he? Oh, he's rubbing his quills on
Oh
something.
my gosh, he's doing
He's rubbing his
it.
quills.
He's doing it.
Look at that. He just
Oh
did
my
that.
God,
He just made that with the sweetgrass.
amazing. Oh.
He's got little human hands there. What's it? Wait a
Oh, wait,
second.
what's happening? Oh my gosh.
Hi,
Oh, what's up with
everyone.
this?
It's Burl.
Burl. I'm wondering here if this information you sent me earlier in the week about quill work was accurate.
Well, I did stretch the truth a little bit.
Stretch, is that in like a rubber band that's about that long, stretched like this?
Right.
Stretched like a uncooked noodle.
Well, you know what? I read it on the internet, so I'm just going to believe it.
There you go.
And I'm just going to assume that you work with the
If it's on
Mr.
the internet,
Porcupine.
it's probably true.
That's it. Because, you know,
Yeah,
we're on the internet. You can believe everything we say.
everything.
Right. Especially when it's made into a meme. It's even more truthful.
Yes, yes. That's
Oh,
true.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of my favorite quotes is, double check everything you read on the internet because sometimes it may not be accurate. Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, and he knew his stuff. He did.
He did.
He did. All right, Burl, can you tell us about yourself? How long have you been doing this artwork? And
Well, I was born a small porcupine way back in Ontario, a place called Walpole Island First Nations, or otherwise known in our language as Bekedwanong, which means where the waters divide.
Mhm.
I'm a little over 16 years old. I have 2 children. Judah, you saw him popping up and down in the video. And
fun to make.
he's 5. And my little girl is 3, and her name is Sophie. And they're great kids. I'm an artist, and I do various mediums. Right now, I'm so focused on porcupine quill work, and I've been doing a lot of birds, turtles, birds, and more birds. So I love doing that, and I carry out
Bro,
tradition.
let me interrupt you really quick.
Yeah.
Have you done birds?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, and I carry on a tradition that my grandmother taught me, and that's breathing. I'm still doing it, still breathing. And she also taught me how to make sweetgrass baskets. So I carry on a tradition of making you can see one back here and another one back here. I did those, and I made this one. I haven't
Now?
decided yet if it's going to be a basket though or a hat. What do you think?
I think you need to make it as a hat. You need to make it like a Stetson.
Oh,
Yeah, totally. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah,
I've always
All
wanted
right.
a sweetgrass Stetson.
that'd be awesome.
all right, cool. Yeah,
That'll work.
so that's what I've been up to, and that's what I do. And I live in Newfoundland, where there are no porcupines, none, 0, except for this one.
I like to remark to everybody that when we start at 10 o'clock, when we start at 10, it's about 2:30 in the morning. 2:30?
Yeah.
Yes.
2:30 in the morning in Newfoundland. When we
actually
did our dress,
sleepwalking.
what's that?
I'm actually sleepwalking.
Burl has not had much sleep, like none.
Yeah.
And he's doing an all-nighter because his kids, when we get done with the show, it's to be closer to sunrise for him, and the kids are going to get up. So Burl's doing an all-nighter for us, which is just outstanding. Burl, you're
Yes, it is.
you're a trooper, man, and you're just
huge
doing this
honor.
with us.
Thank you, Burl.
Oh, the sacrifices, yes.
But it's fun. But just outstanding. So, is it primarily your grandmother that worked with you on this and inspired you, or
I was 4 years old,
you know?
or 4 and 5 years old, and I remember sitting down on the floor by her feet, and sometimes I'd be sitting on her little footstool, and I'd be sitting there, and she'd be speaking to me in Ojibwe, and she would be telling me stories about history and our family, and telling me how she was doing the sweetgrass in our language. So up until just recently, I didn't know that she could speak English quite well because I never heard her. And so she was the one who taught me how to do this. Yeah. And so I listened, and it wasn't only until I became an adult, a little bit past 16 years old, that I actually picked up a needle and sweetgrass and began to sew. And so I have a neighbor who was my childhood best friend's mother, who helped me perfect it. I watched her, and you know, she gave me tips here and there, and I perfected it. And I have a very nice basket. It's solid.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
No, knock that again. I want to hear that.
Yeah, look at that.
Well, the mic's not catching up, but that is solid.
Yeah, it is. I could probably stand on it.
Wow.
Gotcha.
And it's just grass and thread.
That is
Wow.
really tightly wound. Are you able to get that almost watertight sometimes, or?
Well, because it's grass, it will remain watertight till the fibers get soaked through with water, then it'll begin to drip.
Gotcha.
If I were to take some pitch, some spruce gum, and line it, it would be watertight.
That's
Gotcha.
cool.
Before we get on to the slides, I'm sure we want to get that. People want to see the work. I'm so looking forward to showing your work that you've sent the pictures this week. But we do this. I know your grandmother initially taught you. Has there been any other influence that's influenced your style now, or is it what you have is distinctly your style?
Yes, it is, because with the quill work, I'm a self-taught quill worker. I taught myself how to do it. I had quills for, I don't know, a decade, 10 years. I'll say.
Yeah.
I had quills that long and never did anything with them. I made a couple of pairs of earrings. And then one day I just wanted to learn how to do it. And so I picked it up and I basically taught myself how to do quill work. And without any other influences as to how to do it or the style or anything, I developed my own style and developed my own way of doing things. So yeah, it's my very own.
Gotcha.
Well, those baskets are amazing. You made the ones behind you, right? The tall ones.
Yes.
Those are beautiful. Very
Thank you.
beautiful.
Yeah. You ready for your slides?
Sure.
Photos? All right, let's get it up. I am looking forward to this. Afterward, I actually got a couple things to ask you afterward as a follow-up. But here we go with the first slide. Wow.
I know. Look at the colors. That's just gorgeous, Burl.
Yeah. What can you...
I'm looking at the water.
That picture is perfect. Yeah.
There's part of me wants to go put a kayak on that water, admittedly.
Yeah,
but okay.
Beautiful.
So when I put these together, when I line them up, I did ones where you could see like the bottom left is definitely what the picture on the top left to bring that in, and some of the other styles on here. But these are primarily sweetgrass. Are these as solid as the bowl you just tapped against here?
Yes, absolutely. Except for probably the small one that's in my hand. I used a lot less sweetgrass to make that.
Okay. So we have a combination of what looks like beadwork, birch bark as the top, and sweetgrass to do that. What can you share with us with these photos?
Well, the one on the top left are all sweetgrass and beadwork on birch bark.
Yeah.
And they're all my own designs. I create my own designs. And that was primarily the way that I used to do baskets before, was beadwork on birch bark. And then I discovered quill work. And so I've been stuck on that for a couple of years now. I don't even think I've put any beadwork on birch bark, unless just to line something. But yeah, that's the one on the top right is the largest basket that I made, and it's right behind me. And that was an experiment that I tried, because what had happened was I found a basket, an old basket. I guess it was probably made, I would say, in 1940s.
Mm-hmm.
So I purchased it and I wanted to see the construction of it. I had already developed my own style. I already had developed my own way of making it. So I took it apart. I took it apart and discovered that it was done with one piece of birch bark. Up till then, I was doing more than one piece of birch bark, crisscrossing them so that they don't split. Well, I did that one with one piece of birch bark, and I was successful with it.
Wow.
So when you're doing the quill work, is the birch bark that thin? Because I mean, we don't exactly have a lot of birch bark in the Southwest.
It depends
or
on
any.
it depends on the tree you get it from. It depends on the age of it, the condition of it, because
Okay.
sometimes there are like, for example, last year I went and got a bunch of birch bark. What you see back here, I harvested that all last year in the summer. And one of the trees completely split. All the layers came apart. So by the time I got home, it was already splitting into layers. And I don't have a whole lot of experience with birch bark per se, because I'm from a place in Ontario where there are no birch trees. There's none. There used to be birch, but there's none anymore. So
Gotcha.
it's a learning I'm still learning all about it.
What happened to the birch bark there historically in that area, out of curiosity?
Yes, there was. It's North Carolinian, what do you call it? North Carolinian, like a mix between mostly deciduous trees.
Got it. Okay, that explains it. I just thought it might have been something where it like might have been taken down for, some kind of industry cut it down and all that. Because like down where I live, there used to be a lot of cottonwood trees that line the Colorado River, not crazy far from me, and they're gone now because of they were chopped down for fuel for steamships. So right. I was wondering if maybe the birch is not there anymore because of past industry, but it's just the climate. It's just
it could be a mix of climate and industry, because on the south part of the reserve, it's actually not a reserve, it's unceded territory. Okay. And so the place where I'm from, the south part of it is uninhabited, but it's all farmland now. But until recent times, it was all swamp, it was all wetlands, and it was all marshy. And so they dredged it and they cut through it and made ditches here and there and drained it out and turned it into the most productive, lush, black soil anybody's ever seen. It's a beautiful place.
Amazing. So let's go on the next. We ready for the next slide?
Yes.
Just stare at that slide all day.
I know, it's beautiful.
So here's some more detailed work of your quill work on the birch bark. And it's a lot to take in right here.
Mm-hmm.
The detail's amazing. Though, are you still going to take credit for that bluebird one right there that the porcupine did?
Well, that was the first one that the porcupine and I collaborated on. So it was a joint effort.
Got it.
I couldn't do it without him. He's just put so much into it, literally.
Yeah. Now, when everybody's looking at this, how wide are these lids on average, so they can get an idea just how fine this work is?
All right, that turtle was probably, I would say 5 inches across. The cardinal is probably 6.5 to 7 inches across.
Okay.
The blue jay was about 9 inches across.
Got it.
And so the quills that I generally use are a lot thinner. Like the turtle, if you look at the turtle, it's very intricate. It's got very, very small quills on it. And it's excellent for doing line work, like really, really fine line work. And in the turtle, I've also incorporated some dyed spruce roots. On the bottom, there's the dark green. Those are spruce root. And the middle of the tree, the stalk of the tree
I was wondering that earlier.
Roots. The cardinal, if you look around the border of the birch bark, you'll see a border that is the same color as the birch, that's spruce root. You see a red line around the outside of the cardinal, that is spruce root. So I'm incorporating spruce root into a lot of my work as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I assume that's a blue jay down in the lower right here. Now, am I seeing is that braided sweetgrass surrounding the bowl right there that's weaved in and out and on the lid?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, like this. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's
wow.
Pretty finely braided sweetgrass there. Got it. Oh, not completely off talk, but is there other traditions you can make a rope with the sweetgrass that's that finely braided?
Well, the braided sweetgrass has been used in the black ash basketry as well. So if you look at some of this is black ash baskets.
Okay.
And this is another one here. So the black ash basketry is also woven, like fancy baskets is woven with finely braided sweetgrass. And so, yeah, it adorns other types of basketry, not just the type that I do.
Gotcha. Well, I know that like what I'm asking is like general purpose beyond the basketry. It's like a rope bindings, sweetgrass bindings and whatnot.
No, we have other types of plants like a basswood. A basswood has very, very long fibers, and you can take the fibers from the inside of the bark. You can take fibers from it, and you can actually turn it into rope, and we call it weegub, as well as nettle. If you've seen nettle, stinging nettle, you take it and you break the core of it or break the outside of it. The core of the stalk is long, tiny fibers. So you can use that and spin it with your finger and make rope out of it. And it's very, very strong because it's so fibrous.
Is it strong enough? Because it's strong enough to do the cordage for like say a bowstring?
Yes, it is. And that's what people use is actually the nettle 4-core bowstrings.
Okay, because I've done yucca plants down here in the Southwest where I live, but I need to try that with the nettle. That's interesting.
Just be careful when you're touching it.
Oh yeah. Oh, been there, done that. Get it. Got any questions here on these slides here, Christy? For
I was asked, how long does it take to make one of those? With all that detail, does it take a while to make?
It does take a while. First of all, the first thing that I have to do is I have to find a picture of what I want. I find a picture first. And then with that picture, I will put it on top of the birch bark and I will scrawl out the outline of the bird and then the main lines within the bird. And then I will fill it in with the quills. So that, and it takes a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And then, for example, this blue jay that I've got here, I had to figure out what I wanted to do, what I wanted the blue jay to sit on. So I needed some sort of inspiration with branches and things of that sort. Mm-hmm. And so what I was doing with this, I was walking around in the yard and the inspiration basically hit me in the face. I walked past a apple tree full of blossoms and they brushed across my face. And I thought, that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, wow.
So inspiration takes a little while sometimes. Sometimes if you're an artist, you have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh yeah.
Yeah, we know that feeling.
and then there's other times where it just begins to flow. Well, with how long it takes, this took probably 4 or 5 days worth of work just to do the quill.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just to do the quill work because it's so very intricate. That's not including the dyeing of the quills. That's not including the sorting of the quills.
Wow.
Sorting can take so long. When I used to do quill work back in the 90s, back when before they got really expensive, I actually was at this POW in Los Angeles, bought 2 Ziploc freezer bags full of quill work like this. I'm still kind of working off them. Just big bags for like $8 each. This is like 1993, 92. And yeah, the sorting of quills takes so long
because they're so fine. They're like each strand, right?
Well, the length and everything, but Burl can answer that better than I can.
Yeah.
You have to think about the thickness as well as the length, the color, because sometimes the quills are yellow, sometimes they're white, or if you want to use the dark part of the quill, there's a difference between eastern porcupines and western porcupines. So and you can also use the hairs on the porcupine. Mm-hmm. Some of them are black, some of them are black with blonde tips, and then sometimes there's a few blonde ones. So there's all these things that you can use when you're going to harvest the quills from a porcupine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not to mention if you cut the tip off one, you find 20 in the carpet right where you're sitting if you're barefoot.
Oh yes. Don't ever do quill work on a carpet. Don't ever do that.
Never.
No.
I
But
still,
they're absolutely beautiful, and the detail is just wow, gorgeous.
let's go and move on to the next slide. I could look at this all day.
Oh wow.
Here we go, some more detail with some more of the sweetgrass, combination of quillwork and beadwork on here.
So yeah, we're called Sweetgrass and Cinnamon, and Sweetgrass because most of my work, or 99% of my work, has got sweetgrass incorporated into it. The very first dream catcher there, it's probably about 9 inches wide and with size 10 beads, and so that took all day to do, and I think I gave that one away. The earrings, I made those for my wife for Mother's Day. And that's a day project right there. That took a day. And the one medallion on the far right with the peyote stitch lanyard was a commission that went to a educator in New Zealand. So he wears that in New Zealand, yes.
Oh,
And it's a bear paw.
I love the colors. That is
that,
stunning.
a lot of people look at, jealous of that guy walking around with it.
Yeah,
He's
that
gonna
is
be $1 million.
And those earrings are beautiful.
Yeah. If you can't see on the detail on there, the earrings are actually looks like they're, if I'm right here, Burl, they're back with birch bark on there. You can see some of the stitch.
They have birch bark back.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And they have clear hooks.
Wow.
Yeah. Are you doing like on that piece on the right with the kind of rosette medallion there? Are you doing like a lazy stitch into the equivalent of a lazy stitch into the sweetgrass right there?
It's actually just bordered. It's I don't know what you would call it. It's
Applique,
like,
I think.
See the tassels? See the tassels? The tassel. It's the same thing all the way around, but with just shorter amount of beads.
Okay. I don't know the stitch. I'm not a bead worker. We've known it one time. Svea was here. If anybody knows, can identify what kind of stitch that is, let us know and put on the posts. Which, by the way, we have a request for. Let me see what it is. From Vivian, she wants to see blue steel with sweetgrass, a blue steel sweetgrass hat. We'll explain what blue steel is a little later.
I was
It's
like,
from a movie called Zoolander.
Is Burl familiar with Zoolander?
Yeah.
But those are beautiful, Burl.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Let's go look at the last slide right here.
The Dreamcatcher on the left was actually something that I was doing because there's certain times where I'm doing the same project for a long length of time and I don't want to do it anymore and I need a break. So I do something different. And that's where the Dreamcatcher came out of. Because I wanted to do something different. So that was what it was. And it turned out really, really, really well. And that mountain that you see in the background, I live below that mountain now. And so that mountain is actually in my backyard. So we moved, that was 2017. And we moved away an hour, then we moved back and we bought this property here. The one in the middle is my handsome son. His name is Judah. And he's wearing a beaded vest that I had made. I made it for his first birthday. And he loved it. He wore it as much as he could. And I still have it. And it's going to be put away, hopefully, for his son.
Aww.
Top right.
There, dude.
Top right is a series of canvases that I did. The canvases that I did were all different. They all had different meanings. And that one was actually a comet with 3 other stars. So those are 3 stars, and the Dreamcatcher itself has got a comet. It's got a tail on it. Turned out really, really fantastic piece, and as well as the other ones as well. The one on the bottom were gifts. They were Christmas gifts that I had made. So I incorporate different. As you can see, there's an angel there with birch bark on it and crystal beads, and so yeah, I use different mediums, different types of artwork, and as a creative, you don't always be making, you don't like to make the same thing over and over. You want to add, you want to learn, you want to create, and develop something new. And
Absolutely. Okay. Let me go ahead and stop the share here right quick. I wanted to put on a remark. We have an answer probably when I ask you a couple of questions what the name of that stitch is. Alex Hopkins says wrap stitch edging.
okay.
Now we know.
I
Thank you,
never
Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If we can get back, we still got a few minutes. I want to let everybody know that if you have any questions you'd like us to relay to Burl, go ahead and leave a comment in the Facebook post. We'll we'll go through it. And also, if you aren't able to do that, go ahead and just email the show at latenightcrafttalk@gmail.com. And you can also email your questions in there and we'll relay it to Burl and ask it for you.
Yeah.
So with
Ask
that,
away.
yeah, we're gonna run a little late tonight. We're doing good. Because usually I said about 11:45, 11:50 we'd be moving on, but we're gonna continue with this if you're cool with it. Earlier in the week we were talking about the amount of people you saw that used to do the birch bark and do this kind of artwork, and it's gone down and you're sharing. Can you tell us about that? Kind of, you remember we were talking about that and just
when it comes to this sweetgrass basket making, I remember when there was probably about 5 people left, and they were all elderly people that were doing the sweetgrass basketry. So this literally was a dying art. Like when people say a dying art, like I was watching it with my own 2 eyes, watching it die out. And that was what was one of the key motivators for me to carry on the art, to create sweetgrass basketry and have a desire to perfect it and pass it on. So one thing that I now see is that there's a few more sweetgrass basket makers. I talk to people all the way as far as Winnipeg, Manitoba, all the way to the east here. And some of the elders would tell stories of, I haven't seen one of those since I was a child. And this was an 80-year-old woman who was telling me that she hadn't seen a sweetgrass basket made since she was a child. So they spanned all the way from the East Coast all the way to the Midwest, maybe even further. That's as far as I could track as far as they were made. And it died right down to a small, tiny section to the Great Lakes. And there's still a few other people who do them. There's a couple of people in Northern Ontario. There's some in Wisconsin and different areas where people still do it, but it's not prevalent. Like black ash basketry, there's a few more basket makers than there are sweetgrass basket makers. One of my endeavors on my Facebook page, my Sweetgrass and Cinnamon pages, I like to do videos, and people love watching me do artwork. And not just me, any artist, they love watching artists do work. But I want to teach people how to do this. And I want people to learn how to do it and to carry it on. I would absolutely be devastated if this art form were to die, and it almost did in my lifetime. So yeah, it's a lot more prevalent now. With quill work, with the quill work, there are a few more quill workers, and the styles vary greatly. Like you guys had Devin Kiknoswe on your
he was on our 3rd show. He was back about midnight.
He was on your show before, and he's a quill worker. He has his own style. There is people in the East Coast. There are Mi'kmaq quill workers. There's Maliseets and the Eastern tribes, and they have their own style. If you do a little bit of research on the history of Eastern quill work, they did some really, really, really fantastic work. Like some of the most amazing quill work you've ever seen in your life. If you just check out the history of quill work on the East Coast. With Ojibwe, it started out with it. We didn't do basketry. It wasn't basketry that we did. We did a lot of decorative things on moccasins. We did a lot of decorative things on clothing. So it was apparel. It was This is way before beadwork. So before glass beads ever showed up in North America, we were decorating things with porcupine quills.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have a question, a couple of questions actually. Did you want to ask them now or did you want to ask them later, James?
Let's do it now. I think we're gonna have a lot of questions, and we go to the overtime.
Okay. Well, Carol Ann Blackwood asks, "What is the most difficult piece you've worked on?"
The most difficult piece that I worked on was probably that turtle, because the turtle was it didn't have straight lines in it. And if you look at the line work goes all different directions. Whereas a bird, if you look at a bird, the quills can basically go in the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
With the turtle, the line work was going in every different direction. So you have to follow those lines with specific colors. So that was a little bit more
The
difficult.
turtle's freaking phenomenal.
But if you look at this piece that I've got here, oh, I'm gonna watch out. I see something back there. Anyway, there's if you look at the quill work on here, it's all straight lines.
Yeah.
This is one of the easiest pieces that I've made, because the lines all go in the same direction. So it's really simple.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have a question from Vivian. Do you use fresh sweetgrass, or do you have to allow it to dry before using?
I'll tell you the process what we use back at home. We pick it, and we pick it down, and the majority of the people do not use the scissors and cut it. They pull it out. And I'll share with you about sweetgrass in a moment, but we pull it out and we gather it. We take it home and we clean it, which means we take off all the yellow leaves, and we use a clothes iron, and we iron the sweetgrass until all the cellular structure of the stem part has been broken down, so that it dries rather quickly. So you iron it out till it's all wilted, and then you tie it up. You count out each strand to 21 or 25, however many strands you put in each one. You put elastic on there and you hang them on hangers. So in the summertime, there are people who go out there for hours at a time and come back with sweetgrass like this.
Oh, wow.
But after it's all ironed and dried, it ends up like this.
Oh.
So that's a full day's work, because you're going out there, you're picking it, you're cleaning it, you're ironing it, you're bunching it up, you're hanging it up. So that basically can take a full day. That's a full day's work. And if you do that for a week straight, you go out every day, your back is killing you. You have blisters on your fingers from where you're pulling it up. And it's not the easiest job to do, but it's well worth it.
Yeah.
You're reminding me whenever I go out and pick arrowweed in the spring with local plants along washes and whatnot, and bundle it and everything. It's not completely dissimilar.
So after you've dried it and it's hung up and you're ready to use it, you put it in water, you submerge it in water, you take it out and you wrap it with a towel so that it'll maintain its moisture. And so it's pliable when you use it. If you're sewing with it when it's dry, the thread will push on it. It'll just crack the grass. So when it's wet, it doesn't crack.
Wow.
All right. We're getting to that time a little bit. We will have more time, everyone, for we're going to have to move on a little bit of business here. But first of all, when we were talking about plants earlier, the birch, and we share like the banapple tree and the milkbone tree. What kind of plants do you? I know that you do a lot of herbology with that. Do you have any plants that you're like growing in your house that may be specific?
I do.
You're experimenting with during the quarantine?
My experiment turned out really well. Like I was completely surprised when it happened though. And so I grew a tree, and it's a cross between a red willow and bacon. For real.
Wow.
For real.
Can you show it? Do you have it in a planner? Can you show us easily?
Right here. Take a look.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
It's It's gorgeous. Like the
Oh,
very first thing that come out,
wow.
very first thing that come out is the bacon, not the leaves. I was totally taken back by that. I thought maybe the leaves would come out or flowers or something. Nope, bacon.
That is an old style,
Wow.
authentic red willow bacon tree.
Yes.
And I know that the soil has to have a lot of grease.
You just pull it off the tree and oh, amazing. You know what?
Making me hungry for more sauerkraut.
I wonder
No.
I wonder if I cross it with a maple tree, would I get maple bacon? Oh,
You have to do that.
I think I'm gonna try it. I will.
When you have that, I'm going to
have
message you. I'm going to kind of keep up and let me know that. I'd love to have you come back on and just show us how you're able to work in the bacon maple tree with the birch bark.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Yeah. Oh, lovely.
Wow.
Mm.
Things you can grow in Newfoundland.
I know. And it rains here a lot. It's been raining for the past couple of days here. Mm.
Yeah, I know that just works so well with the bacon.
It does. It needs
does.
a lot of water.
Yeah. Which comes down to, I mean,
Fascinating.
if I may, can I ask a little bit of a personal question? If you don't
Sure
mind,
you can.
tell me if I'm off base here. Tooshkenig. What does that mean?
Well, Tooshkenig. Oh, a long time ago, there was a man, and he could eat all he wanted, and he never gained any weight. And his mother never named him until he was like 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he just went by the name of Boy. And so as Boy got older, he would eat and eat and eat and eat. He never gained a pound. So he earned a name, Too Skinny.
Do you have any family photos or anything like that?
Yes, absolutely. If you don't mind.
Yeah, so basically
Check
Tooshkenig
these
means skinny people, basically.
Yes, Too Skinny.
So if us fat Americans are going to be jealous of you already.
Yes, yeah.
Well,
Especially
if you can, I think
eaters.
I see where you just sent it to me. Let's get that picture up. Take a look. Your old family photo here. Look at that.
Wow.
That is an
What
old
a
family
lovely
photo.
family photo. That is
Yes,
great.
It's,
Beautiful
it-
family.
we have great genes, and it's not a defect. It's just the way that we are. We're all two skinnies.
No kidding. Because I think you got another photo here that you just sent me to put up. Look at that. Oh, look.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I told you before, this one, don't mind the weight. He's a little overweight. It's just because the camera puts on 10 pounds.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and stop share on that one. Well, you know what? You sent it, explain Tooshkenig. I know I have some people that go, Hermes. You know, they don't know if it's French or Spanish, but it's actually Southern Germany. It comes from my dad's side of the family. Should I talk? We're talking about last names. I like to share too.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
I would love to hear it.
It's actually Southern Germany, but a lot of people say, "Oh, the Greek god." Some will recognize it as that, the Greek god, and that's what I think. And here's your chance to here's your cue. Look at the Greek god, and I like to say, yeah, named after a Greek god or
Yes.
god.
Right. Well, let's see. Also too, Hermes, isn't that like bags, purses, and
What?
scarves?
No, it's a god. It's not a handbag.
I don't know. I mean,
It's not a handbag. It's a
it
god.
has to be. No, I'm almost certain.
All right, you want me to bring up a photo? You want me to bring my point here?
Yeah.
Give me a second here, because
Let me see this.
the other webcam.
Let
Give me
me
a
see.
second. Let me get something up here for you,
Okay.
because I'm trying to get this thing to work. And bear with. While we're doing this, Chris, do you want to show us the lucky dragon? Because I'm having.
Well, my last name isn't as exciting as you guys have great family history with your names and stuff. And so I'm just going to stick to the dragon. I am a dragon. So that's what I am. So let me show you a picture. So
Where'd you go?
here is mine. So I stick to the dragon, you know, and I guard soap and bags also, and custom fabrics. You know, that's the kind of dragon I am. And you know, we tend to guard it, and if anybody, you know, upsets us, we like to set people on fire. But I don't, this is my cousin, as you can tell, you know, he's hanging out. It's a great picture. But yeah, so I'm gonna stick to that because my last name's not exciting.
I could use your cousin to cook some bacon.
I'm ready to show my photo here. Hello.
Okay.
Hello, lowly mortals. I am here at Mount Olympus, home of the gods. I am the messenger of the gods, a god myself. I bring on the personal messages from Zeus himself to you mere mortals. Are you impressed? You should be, mortals.
You know what?
Olympus.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure there's bags somewhere.
No, I'm not the god of bags.
And
I am
I'm
the messenger of the gods, conductor of the trains of dead, and the god of late night talk shows, especially crap.
I'm almost certain it's bags and scarves.
No, it is not bags.
You know, and actually, I have a bag and it tore. So if you can snap your fingers.
I am a god that delivers messages, not a god of seamstress or seamstress. Mortal. You know what? I've got work to do. I've got to take messages for Zeus. So I've got to pack up my bags here, and I'm going to get ready to go.
See?
What?
See? There's bags.
Hermes
right
bags.
there. I
right
knew
there.
it.
Hermes, no. These are my messenger
Hermes
bags I take for messages to represent from Zeus.
Yeah.
Where's
Carry
your
a
scarf?
message in your Hermes bag.
Where's your
Okay,
scarf?
fine. I can't find the scarf.
What?
I was going to try. Let's pretend I'm tying on a scarf. Because it got moved.
That's
I'm
it.
supposed to be wearing a scarf right now.
I'm setting you on fire.
Well, you know what?
Jared is probably taking it to guard it.
It was probably in one of the bags, and it's a messenger bag from the gods. You know what? I'm just going to turn off my camera and come back to you, mortal plane, as soon as I find the switch. Hold on, working on it. 2 minutes, a lot of buttons here, and I'm back.
You're back.
You can change see where I changed the background very quickly. This took some working to do. But you know what? And I wish I remembered the scarf because that was supposed to be a great visual, but we'll just imagine it as an art. Okay. So we did that. She was supposed to go off so much smoother. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna miss this.
We can laugh when I bomb.
Well, my
right.
whole dragon thing was terrible. So okay.
Well, at least everybody's going to remember the bacon tree.
Yes.
Thank you, bro, for saving us.
I will not forget the bacon tree.
I'm not either. All right. A little bit of business we have to go before we go into overtime for the show. We gotta do this. We're going to go into the audience contest for the week. We're not doing trivia questions again this week. We're actually going to, let me get this up. We're going to be doing the same thing we did last week. We're going to be doing for a social media push. And what we're going to have is, let me get the slide up here right quick. What we're doing is this week, just like last week, anyone that likes and then shares Late Night Craft Talk on Facebook and likes us, and well, hold on. Anyone that likes the show, tonight's show right now, this show right now, like it, share it, and also share. And I know share Dancing Bear Indian Trader and like it, Elk Rack Traders, My Lucky Dragon, and Sweetgrass and Cinnamon. And you'll be entered to drawing for prizes on next week's show. If you do this, please leave a comment in the posts. You'll post a comment on the show, say done. That's just like we did it last week. And I know a lot of you have already liked Elk Rack Traders and My Lucky Dragon and Dancing Bear Indian Trader. If you do that, we'll just say share them again and like the show, and definitely like Sweetgrass and Cinnamon and write done on the posts on this show. And so a lot of you will be watching the show tomorrow and Sunday. Same rule applies. When you watch the show, share it, say done, We'll be checking the comments early next week. You've got to do it by 11:59 this Sunday night. Today's the 24th, so Sunday, the July 26th at 11:59 p.m. Have it done by then. That's when we close, and we'll start taking names, and you'll be entered for next week's drawing.
I put the links in the comments too, so all you guys, easy for you. All you got to do is press it and like.
Yeah.
11:59. Which time zone?
Pacific.
There you go.
What time's it right now in Newfoundland?
Oh dear. What day is it?
Saturday for you.
I don't know.
I'm gonna throw out a cool fact here for everybody. Newfoundland, from where I'm at in Southern California, ballpark, I am 3,300 miles from where you live near St. John's and Newfoundland, the East Coast of Newfoundland. You almost can't get any further. You pretty much can't get any further east in North America. Where Burl's at, granted, we're on the same continent. I'm 3,300 miles away. I don't know what it is in kilometers. London, England is 900 miles closer to Burl than I am. And he's so far out that you go by the half hour over there.
We have an extra half hour, yes.
You have an extra half hour, which is amazing. I didn't know that till this week.
I didn't even know that, until he mentioned it. Yeah, that's crazy.
We are also an island off the mainland. And so because we're an island, there's many things that we do not have that the mainland does have. For example, porcupines.
Oh, wow.
Or Walmart.
We've got Walmarts.
Okay.
We just got rid of Zellers.
Got it. All right. One more piece of business right here before we go into overtime. We still have some fun for everybody tonight. Okay. What we're going to have here is I'm going to introduce next week's guest. And I got to run over and spend about 10 seconds to let my cat out the door because he wants out. Being patient. If he does not patient, it may smell in here. All right. Next week's guest we have coming on our next Friday, July 31st, last Friday of the month. Our special guest is Emily McKinney from I'm sorry, my apologies. From Anishinaabe Bimishimo. She is very well known for making jingle cones, high quality jingle cones for powwow dancing. And that'll be awesome. Somebody just texted me. Huh?
Svea showed me some pictures of the cones, and they put it on the gowns, the dresses, and they're absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So I'm
keep it down over there.
Vivian just messaged me.
Oh.
Let's take that off right quick so I can see the comments. All right. So that is what we have. And what you might see next week, we might just bring back a segment called Late Night Craft Talk on the Road Across America.
Ooh.
Hi, I'm James Hermes from Late Night Craft Talk on the Road Across America, looking for people to interview for our show. And right now I'm at the Sonny Bono National Wildlife Refuge in Imperial County, California. And that is a volcano. It is considered an active volcano, the southernmost in the continental United States. It's like 30 feet tall, hasn't erupted in about almost 1,000 years, and even its Wikipedia entry says it's rather diminutive and unimpressive for an active volcano. I am standing very close to an active volcano. My life is in danger. And I do it for your audience, for Late Night Craft Talk. And I'm looking for somebody to interview, and all I can find is a beehive where they're pollinating a farm field right over here. Otherwise, this is James Hermes near an active volcano. I'm in danger. Late Night Craft Talk across America on the road.
Road!
Or on the road across America, take your pick. I put myself at risk.
I know the bees could have killed you.
Huh?
Those bees could have killed you.
You know what? Lava bees. If they're around that natural environment, it's lava bees. They'll sting and it'll burn.
Deadly.
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 Yes. Or you could have tripped. Yeah, you were in danger. You could have tripped.
I could have tripped into the lava.
Yeah. Right.
With bees.
With bees.
Yeah.
And it ain't sweet honey. Or honey lava. This is just
this show is
bigger than the porcupines with the birchbark. Huh?
The science in this show is incredible.
It is. Well, we do have a very well-respected science person called Christy Nieto. And we have our biologist here, master man of nature, and her, right there, the commander of porcupines and a bacon tree. Where's the bacon?
Yeah, we're pretty smart. See, I got
This
glasses.
nice tree.
Burl got glasses. We're smart.
These jalapenos, this plant is 2.5 years old.
Actually, yeah, the jalapeno plant, the fact you got it growing and growing anything on there where you're at is amazing.
Yeah, true.
While you do that, ask a question. I got to let the cat out real fast.
Oh, okay.
He's a 22-pound cat, Maine Coon cat. He's big. And if you don't let him out, he may have to go. And it's a biological hazard. When he does, you can smell from a mile away. Okay, done.
Okay.
Burl, I know you have that young cat.
Yes.
Be glad you don't have a Maine Coon breed cat. Okay.
Oh, right.
A Maine
I
Coon.
just have
Maine
dogs
Coon.
and a loud bird. That's the only thing I have. No
Well,
cat.
we used to have mice. Then we got a cat. So we traded.
Yeah.
Was one actually a pet in an aquarium, or were they just there and the cat helped get rid of them? And you just called them?
Yeah, the latter.
That's why I won't have a problem with mice here or rats. Okay. We're on to overtime officially now for everybody. If you want to relay any questions you have for Burl, shoot away. Christy, did you have something about a rash?
Yeah, I was saying we didn't talk about his herbology knowledge here. Actually, before we get to the rash, I got bit by bugs today, so it's really itchy. What can I do about my bug bites? Any advice? My white legs?
I don't know. Where do you live?
In Washington.
Washington. You may have something there called orange jewelweed.
Mm-hmm.
Orange jewelweed is a miraculous plant. It's better than aloe vera. Actually, we called it Indian aloe.
Mm.
And so it can get rid of all kinds of bites. If your bites get infected, you scratch them, they bleed, you sleep and you scratch and you sleep and they get terrible. There's something that used to be called white man's foot. And it's called plantain. And the reason why it's called white man's foot was because when non-Indigenous people came here, everywhere they went, they created paths and packed the soil down. And this plant loves packed soil. So everywhere it went, it would grow in the midst of these paths that non-Indigenous people would make.
Oh,
and
wow.
so they use this plant to extract certain types of, like if you had an infection in a cut, it would pull all of that out. Yes. So there's a lot you can do for bug bites.
Okay. Yeah. I was doing a market today and then I got home and I'm like, why am I itching? And I have bug bites on my legs. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to save my question for Burl.
There you go.
Another question is, you have your special tea that makes you live forever?
Special tea that makes me live forever.
Or is it the onion tea?
There is a onion skin tea that I drink whenever we have extra onions and we use them for cooking, which we do often. I take the onion skins and I use those and I mix them with my other regular teas. So chop up the skins and put them in with my red clover or maybe cedar tea or whatever kind of tea that I'm drinking, blueberry, cranberry, whatever I have handy, I just make it into tea. But there's a science behind it. I didn't really realize there is a science behind it, but there is a science behind drinking onion skin tea.
Oh, wow. Does it taste bitter or what does it taste like?
No, if like I said, if you mix it with something else, there's a tiny hint of onion, but it's not like overpowering. It's not like biting into an onion or sauerkraut.
Yeah, no, sauerkraut. Ugh.
Ooh. we love sauerkraut.
I can't believe you're
Mm-mm.
still eating that.
It's the side gag. I risk my life. I risk my life for a volcano for the show. I can risk sauerkraut.
Uh,
We
you
love
make me eat
sauerkraut.
more sauerkraut.
That's why I'm taking a swig of my drink. Okay,
Can I just have Burl's bacon?
we have another question right here. Burl, have you ever considered splicing the bacon tree with the jalapeno tree?
Oh, that's a great question.
No, but I have wrapped jalapenos with bacon.
Oh God, that's so good.
Oh yeah, that is. Do you stuff it with
Thumbs
cheese?
up.
I do. Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. That's very sciencey. Yeah.
It is.
What is the best herb for a cold?
Cone flowers.
Corn flour?
Cone.
Oh, cone flour.
Well,
Cone flower or bee balm.
Is that
or-
something that you eat or you put in a tea or what do you?
You dry them. You dry them. You
Uh-huh.
like with bee balm. Well, with many herbs, you pull the root right out
Mhm,
and you tip it upside down. You dry it upside down
mhm.
so that everything drains towards the flower. So
Okay.
everything drains toward the flower, and you would take that flower and then you would make tea from the flower. It would be the strongest part of the plant.
Oh wow. Svea asks, how many projects do you work on at one time?
Oh my goodness. No less than 5.
Oh wow.
we ask that actually routinely of a lot of the finer artists, and it's fun to compare notes, because you may start on one and then it sits there and it may sit there. I've got one sitting in my shop that's been sitting for 3 years until I finally decide it's time to finish it, or it says it's time to finish it.
I have a couple of those.
Yeah, we all have that. It's just fun to say 5, 6, 7. Some maybe like sit there for a day. Some may sit, a few years.
Yeah.
I've had I think one of my oldest ones is about 5 years. His name is Judah. I'm still working on him. He might take a little while to complete.
Yeah, that one's gonna take a while.
I think my longest term project, not a kid, is actually I started carving. Got a good piece of pipestone and I started carving on it, and that was about 1990. Still working on it bit by bit.
I have a box
Wow.
back in the back of stuff that I'm working on that gets pulled out every once in a while, but it's there. It's just a tiny box full of projects that are half done.
I've got a leather shirt I was doing some beadwork on. The last time I did the beadwork on it was about mid 90s. I started about 91, and I still intend on finishing it. Still in great condition, but yeah, I need to finish the beadwork on it. You know, if I spent like 4 days, I could probably be done with it. But you know,
I'm
Little
also
bit time.
doing a restoration project.
do show. Okay. Cord, birch
So-
bark.
Oh wow.
Look at that.
Yeah.
How was that piece?
Remember I told you earlier about the one piece of birch bark. This was that one piece, and it's older piece, one piece of birch bark with the quills going through the bark.
Oh wow.
This is an older piece, and so these white quills were all broken off. I replaced them. So I'm doing, it'll be fully restored by the time I'm done. The whole thing will be fully restored.
Beautiful.
And so I started this 2 years ago.
Okay. We have a question right here from a mystery person with the last name Kamori Yang. How does one find sweetgrass to make the baskets, or is there another material to make baskets out of?
Sweetgrass grows, well, I can't really say that sweetgrass grows in a particular condition, because the places that I found it, the conditions in which it grows are varying greatly.
Yeah.
So how do you find it? The leaves are shiny. if you, for the most part, sweetgrass that I found, there is a, at the bottom of the, near the root of the stem, it's kind of purple. There's like a little purple tinge to it. And so you pull it out and the smell is unmistakable. You can put it up to your nose and you're like, yep, that's sweetgrass. After it rains and you smell it, there's no other smell like it. If you smell it after the rain, anywhere, it's there. You'll find it. You'll find it somewhere.
Yeah. Is it grown mostly in like a marshy area?
Yes, for the most part, yes. But I have found it in places where it was a little bit more drier, but it grows a lot shorter.
You keep on reminding, every time you describe it, for some reason I keep on thinking of alfalfa, which is, a staple for hay, which isn't the greatest horse feed, even though horses love it. It's like sweet candy. But you just keep on reminding me that the sweetgrass reminds me of alfalfa. It's a very distinct smell and everything, though they're two very different plants.
Yes, the best way, if you do find it and you want to have it for years to come, I would suggest taking digging it up. Because I was telling you, I was going to tell you about picking sweetgrass. You can pull it up by the root, and there's a lot of people that get upset because you pick it up by the root, and they say you kill the plant. But this is all my own personal study. I studied sweetgrass and how it grows and where it grows and things of that sort. So with the sweetgrass, it grows by rhizomes. And the rhizomes are in sections. It's a long root with sections. So when you pull the grass out, you're only ripping out a part of the section. And so they grow probably 1 foot to 2 feet a year and grow sprouts from those sections. So there's one section, a sprout will grow out, another section, another grass will grow out. So when you pull it out, you're only pulling out that one little section of the root, and the rest is still intact in the ground, able to grow. And it actually promotes growth. If you break that rhizome, it'll break off and branch off into another rhizome area that will start sprouting grass in a different direction.
How wide is that? Like, say you have, like, say a symbol of a bushel, about this much where I'm holding. How much is that root system going to sprout out beyond that, where that bushel's located?
It will depend on soil. Because if you got a very sandy soil in which it's growing, you can actually pull out the entire root and pull out like 5 or 6 pieces of grass. So if it's more compact clay loam type of soil and you pull it out, you'll break it off. And so a section for that much sweetgrass, you will have to, back at home, when I was a child, it used to grow in clumps. Because it's harvested a lot, it no longer does that. And the reason why it used to grow in clumps is because when it seeds like any other grass. It grows a stalk of seeds and they're all at the end. When it falls to the ground and enough organic material falls on top, it will sprout. And it will sprout, all those little seeds will sprout in the same area. And so it would make little bushes here and there. But because of the way that people harvest it a lot now, it doesn't grow like that anymore. So it's mainly grows through the roots.
Well, it's almost like industrial right now, the way it's picked and set out for everything. Yeah, it's not. But
it doesn't have to be, and that's the reason why I explained about the rhizomes. You can actually dig them up, put them in soil. I have a pot of it outside. I have actually 2 pots of sweetgrass and another one growing on the window. So I'm going to have 3 pots of sweetgrass growing, and I'm going to build a box outside, and I will have my own supply growing outside.
That's awesome.
How much does the sweetgrass, is it compatible and is able to grow in the same soil and require the same waters like, say, the bacon tree? I
think the bacon tree requires a little bit more water. Okay. And you need to keep the soil a little bit more damp.
Yeah, because I imagine would make the sweetgrass very greasy.
Very, very
beautiful, greasy. Bacon smelling greasy.
Yes, and you don't want greasy baskets. No.
Makes it hard to hold on to them.
Do you use like a food for it? Like, let's say Miracle Grow for the bacon tree?
Actually, it's completely organic. It's all organic. I don't use Miracle Grow on anything because that stuff is anti-organic.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yes.
How much sweetgrass is needed? Well, let's go back to the sweetgrass baskets. As much as we're absolutely fascinated with the bacon tree, how much sweetgrass do you often need to make one basket? Say, medium-sized basket, what you consider
good question.
Like this?
sized? Yeah.
Say, because of the thickness of this one, I would say the bowl was probably almost 15 bunches with 21 strands in each bunch.
Oh wow.
So yeah, if you can calculate that, and it also
Get an
depends
idea.
on the length of the grass as well. So this grass that I'm using is quite long. Now, if you picked it a month earlier, the grass would be half this length, then you would need twice as many.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
Wow.
All right. Does sweetgrass die back? Does sweetgrass die back during cold weather? And when is the best time to usually pick it? I know we kind of touched on it earlier, but not quite like this question is asking.
The best time to pick it is probably July and August. And
Really?
yes, in June, it's too short.
Okay.
In July, it's long enough. And August, the bugs are beginning to eat it and it's beginning to die back a little bit. And yes, it does die back, but the roots remain intact in the ground. You're ready for the next year.
Okay. We have another question that goes back to the really the highly medicinal plant we've been talking about, the most impressive of your collection right now. Can you cross the bacon tree with seed beads to get greasy beads, and can you grow different colors?
Oh, good question, Vivian.
Very. This is from Vivian. This is why we like Vivian.
I'm not equipped to answer that. I don't have a science background, so it would be a great experiment. Yeah, absolutely.
I think this might be a question for Christy, for our science person to answer.
You know what? I'm with Burl. We'll have to test it out. We'll communicate, Burl.
Well, this will be late night craft talk clinical trials.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's a lot of sciencey talk. It's science. You know, science.
But with greasy beads, would they damage your shirt? Would they make your shirt all greasy?
No. And then comes Tide Pods and all that other stuff.
And then when on a sunny day, you're gonna smell like deliciousness.
And you'll also sizzle.
Yeah.
And will a bear lick you?
Ugh.
Oh
You're out
wow,
camping.
yeah.
I don't want to be that
Especially
close.
here,
Welcome
we
lick
have
you.
bears. Yeah.
I know for sure my cat would lick me.
Oh, Taco won't leave me alone. If I had that.
I won't leave me alone.
The cat's locked up right now because I have the bacon tree in the house.
Oh. So what are you
I
wearing?
know you were kidding about that.
Oh, this is the turtle medallion that I made.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes, Birchburg. Oh, I've been admiring.
Yeah.
We put it on early in the show. I'm like,
Yeah, beautiful.
okay.
Oh,
Okay,
Burl,
we have another question.
Sorry. Go ahead, James.
This is, well, all this knowledge, we keep on going back to the bacon tree. We'll throw it out there. All right, Karen, we'll throw it out for you. Actually, Karen has a real question. I'm going to go with Karen's.
She's a real question.
Can you dye sweetgrass different colors like you do with quills? Great question. Thank you, Karen.
People have done it. I haven't done it myself, but people have done it. The only thing that I have dyed is the braid. I've only dyed the sweetgrass braid before and used it.
Okay.
But I haven't done it lately, but I've done it in the past. But the only thing is it doesn't dye consistently. Like when you dye a quill, the whole entire quill changes all the same color of the dye. When you do sweetgrass, it's not the same. You have different shades of a mix between the color of the grass and the dye. So it doesn't saturate completely with the dye, which is probably part of the reason why I don't dye it.
Okay. I may have a
What kind
question.
of dyes do you use? Do you use like flower dyes that are made from flowers? Do you use just like a regular dye? What do you use?
I use regular commercial.
Yeah.
I use grit dye on the quills, but I've been experimenting. And you can use black walnut. You can use flowers. You can use berries. There's a whole different but they don't last as long. But if you want to be truly organic and truly traditional in your making, that's the things that you would use.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
We do have a question from Serena, and this might help a lot of people that watch this in the future and see your contact info. Do you do commissions, and how long does a project take for a Dreamcatcher medallion?
I have done commissions. I won't be able to do commissions anytime soon because I'm all commissioned out. I'm out of commission right now because I've taken on a lot of projects. A lot of the projects that I have taken on was just to replenish my supplies. As you know, there's not a lot of sweetgrass here in Newfoundland, as well as no porcupines. So I've had to outsource them out on the mainland somewhere somehow.
Yeah.
And it's better for me to trade my works than it is to purchase it outright because materials are very expensive.
Yeah. Well, not to mention that all the time we're going to be spending definitely the next few months to try to help people with our experimentation with the bacon tree.
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Which takes us, we got another question here is, how do you dye spruce roots for your basketry? How do you dye
same process I do with the quills. As I'm dyeing the quills, I will take a wrap of spruce root and dip it into the same dye.
Okay.
Should we go back to the bacon tree real quick?
Yeah, you want to ask that one right quick because I keep on seeing the cool question. I want to go back to the bacon tree. Let's make that one the last one of the bacon tree if you want to go ahead and ask it.
Do you want me to ask it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Burl, you should cross the sweet grass with the bacon tree to create a new scented oil plant.
Ooh, but would you smell like sweetgrass?
Sweet bacon.
Or bacon? That's a sweet question.
Somebody go, where is that sweet smell of bacon coming from? And you just say, sweet bacon.
That would be that would be a great cologne. I mean,
I can use it in my soaps.
I don't know. There might
dogs will follow me.
There might be some kind of pheromones in it. You might get an undesired result from it. So
I can think of a retired Marine Corps top sergeant that would or master sergeant that would follow around all day.
Yeah.
Be careful. You smell pretty good.
Be careful with those things.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, any other questions?
I
think.
Here we're gonna remember back on this going, we have Burl News. You're probably gonna get some questions about plants and what do we keep on coming back to? The greatest thing you've ever invented ever, the bacon tree.
Yep.
And now we're gonna have sweet bacon trees. Okay.
Well, I better get them all patented because I was looking at pluots. I didn't know that pluots had a patent.
Really?
But there's a copyright on pluots.
What is that? I don't know what that is. What is that?
A plum and apricot.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Just
wow.
waiting for something like that. Well, at least we know we're good with banapples.
Yes.
No, that's true. And milkbone tree. The milkbone tree.
And milkbone trees.
Exactly.
Well, when we get off and we say bye everybody on Zoom, we're all gonna be rushing the copyright going, I'm gonna get it first, I'm gonna get it first, I'm gonna get it first.
I know, milkbone tree.
All right. Burl, is the sun rising where you are at? Right now or soon. So we have another question.
The sun will be rising very shortly. I can't see now if this was last month, I would say yes. Yeah, I would say yes. But not yet. Not yet.
How many days? How many minutes of daylight do you lose from one day to the next this time of year?
Probably, I don't know. Probably a minute or something.
Okay, so we lose about 2.5 minutes per day where I'm at in my latitude.
Oh,
we're way south of you. Okay. Burl, Vivian says bacon trees and the Burl stitch.
The Burl stitch is actually a reference to something that when I do Zoom calls with some of the artists, they named the stitch that I do because I told you I don't have anybody's influence when it comes to my quill work.
Yeah.
That is my own style.
The Burl stitch.
That's awesome.
Okay. We're hitting 11:30 our time. We want to Thank you so much for taking the night for us.
Mm-hmm.
This is we get up, your kids will be there and be going, kids, you ever heard of a bacon tree? Daddy wants to try some new experimentation.
My daughter loves bacon. I couldn't get her to eat soup today. It sat there for an hour, and then I crumbled the bacon into it. It was gone in seconds.
Oh, wow. Yeah, bacon's delicious.
Yeah. So I need a whole forest.
Yeah, of bacon. But remember, I can't wait to find out about the maple bacon tree. I can't wait for you to come back and tell us about it.
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
I want to see all of our efforts combine and make the Banapple maple bacon. Banapple maple bacon. Banapple maple bacon. I got it.
Well, or the bacon milk bones. I mean, the dogs would love it even more.
There you go.
Yep.
It's getting late. I'm not going to attempt to put that into one word. Okay. Everybody, been fantastic. Burl, thank you much. We've asked a lot of you. You've given a lot of yourself with talking with you. Everybody you've taught. You give so much of yourself. Dude, thank you for sharing with this, taking the opportunity to share again with us. Absolutely
it was an
amazing.
honor. Yeah, it was beautiful. Your work is gorgeous.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Beautiful.
Okay. With that, I think, let me make sure we're over here if there's any more business we have to cover. Not yet. So, we all kind of talked about a fun ending for this show. And I think, do we want to do it? I was thinking about, what did Vivian say earlier about?
Oh, the Zoolander. She wanted to see if Burl would. It seems like it's going to be tradition now where your guests are going to have to do
when you're on.
Zoolander.
Zoolander. It's a movie about this model. It's got, what's the dude's name in there?
What?
Somebody tell us what the name is, the guy on that from Zoolander. Anyway, it's this dumb model guy, and he has this look that's supposed to bring back his career because he's kind of aging model, and he goes like this. And that's his look for his model look, called blue denim, and there's blue
and
steel.
He has different names for it all the time, but it's always the same.
And it's just like that. And it's like all these miracles are supposed to happen when it happens.
Right.
And it does in the movie.
Magnum, blue
And
steel.
when Christy was our guest on our show a couple months ago, we just we kept on talking about blue steel, and then we brought it back last week. First time we've done it since Christy was on the show 2 months ago. And it seems to be this thing that when Christy and I are both on the show, at some point we have to do the blue steel look, which you turn around and just go.
Right. It's like this deep stare.
And people just go, whoa. Unicorns fly around you and bacon birds fly around you. And bacon goes on tree, which means apparently you've already got blue steel down.
Oh,
okay.
It's Derek Zoolander. Derek Zoolander is the character. Thank you, Karen.
Blue steel with birch bark.
All right, so you gotta put your birch bark hat on, Burl, and then you gotta
if you
turn
give us the
really
blue steel
fast
look.
and give us the blue steel.
It's actually my sweetgrass hat.
Sweetgrass hat.
Yeah. So then you turn around, and then you're gonna whip really quick.
Give us the model look. Give
us the deep look. Are we all doing it, or first Burl has to do it? So let's see. Let's see here. Ready?
I don't want to do it. It's done. After that, Burl owns it. We invented it.
I didn't get to
Burl
see
owns
it.
it.
It didn't come on my screen. Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
You ready? Well, she's watching the replay on Facebook because Facebook's 12 seconds behind us. I'm looking at it coming on.
Here we go.
And he has the hair too, which is gorgeous. It just flows.
I think I just had a baby. You've owned blue steel. It's dead now. It's dead to me. I can't do it. We invented it. You own it now.
Vivian said it blew her socks off.
And she's wearing big, thick wool socks and stockings.
All right, let's do it all three at the same time now.
And then and when we do that, let's get blue steel, then say, Auf Wiedersehen from Late Night Craft Talk.
And Wiedersehen.
To still appease our German.
Oh man.
I'm going to do blue steel with sauerkraut.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
Okay, let's do it.
2.
Let's count. Wait. 3.
1. Go for it.
3, 2, 1. We were
Guten
all
Abend.
behind.
Guten Abend. Und guten Abend, Alfred Zane from Late Night Craft Talk.
What is it? Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. Guten Abend, Late Night Craft Talk.
Gesundheit.
Thank you, sir.
Achoo.
Night, everybody. And closing credits coming. Let's dance.